Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is September 6th, 2024. We are in the Old Testament book of Daniel. We're going to read chapter 7 today. Okay, we made it up to the big prophecy of Daniel, the big vision of Daniel about his beast with the four beasts. Now, lots has been written about this. There's lots of symbology, of course, in here. People can spend their entire lives trying to decipher this. We're not going to do that. Okay. Problem with doing that is you kind of miss the big picture here, and you're looking so much for signs that you don't see the biggest sign, which is Jesus. All right, so Daniel's dream, we have four beasts, and you want to compare it to Nebuchadnezzar's dream with the four-part statue. Okay, in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, he was the golden head. Now he's dead. In Daniel's dream, everybody moves up a space. Okay, in Nebuchadnezzar, you had Babylonians, then the Medes and Persians, then the Greeks, then the Romans, and then they're smashed by Christ. Daniel's vision, well, Babylonians are gone, so we're starting with the Medes and the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, and Christ. So what's the fourth one that comes in? It's the Antichrist. That's what we want to get out of Daniel's prophecy. Okay, once the kingdoms of the world are done doing whatever they're going to do, they're taken over by the Antichrist. The U.S. isn't here to save the world. You're Russian, they're not here to save the world. English aren't here to save the world. French, none of these nations is where salvation comes from. Salvation comes from Jesus Christ. The world system, that's the Antichrist. Eventually, it's going to just become much more obvious as we move along. So what are we supposed to do? Well, we're supposed to recognize that, hey, you know what, these earthly systems aren't getting us anywhere. They're not supposed to get us anywhere. They're never intended to get us anywhere. What's going to get us someplace is following Christ and subjecting ourselves to his will and keeping in the word and understanding that, hey, you know what, yeah, I got to live in this fallen world, but I'm not part of this fallen world. I'm in exile, and I'm just waiting for God to call us all home. That's what I'm doing. And after we get the vision, he interprets it, and that's basically what he says. You know what? God is sovereign. Follow God. So let's go ahead and we're going to read Daniel chapter 7. In the first year of Belteshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head while on his bed. Then he wrote down the dream, telling the main facts. Daniel spoke, saying, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven were stirring up the great sea, and four great beasts came up from the sea, each different from the other. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I watched till its wings were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand on 2 feet like a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And suddenly another beast, a second like a bear, it was raised up on one side, and had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth. And they said thus to it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I looked, and there was another like a leopard, which had on its back 4 wings of a bird. The beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, exceedingly strong. It had huge iron teeth. It was devouring, breaking in pieces, and trampling the residue with its feet. It was different from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns. I was considering the horns, and there was another horn, a little one, coming up among them, before whom 3 of the first horns were plucked out by the roots. And there in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking pompous words. I watched till thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days was seated. His garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was a fiery flame, its wheels a burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. 1,000 thousands ministered to him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court was seated, and the books were opened. I watched then because of the sound of the pompous words which the horn was speaking. I watched till the beast was slain, and its body destroyed and given to the burning flame. As for the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season at a time. I was watching in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man, coming with the clouds of heaven. He came to the Ancient of Days, and he brought him near before him. That to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom the one which shall not be destroyed. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit within my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near to one of those who stood by and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and he made known to me the interpretation of these things. Those great beasts which are four kings, which arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall receive the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I wished to know the truth about the fourth beast, which was different from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, with its teeth of iron and its nails of bronze, which devoured, broke in pieces, and trampled the residue with its feet. And the 10 horns that were on its head, and the other horn which came up before which 3 fell, namely that horn which had eyes and a mouth, which spoke pompous words, whose appearance was greater than its fellows. I was watching, and the same horn was making war against the saints, and prevailing against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and a judgment was made in favor of the saints of the Most High, and the time came for the saints to possess the kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be a fourth kingdom on earth, which shall be different from all other kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, trample it, and break it in pieces. The 10 horns are 10 kings who shall arise from this kingdom, and another shall arise after them. He shall be different from the first ones, and shall subdue 3 kings. He shall speak pompous words against the Most High, shall persecute the saints in the Most High, and shall intend to change times and law. Then the saints shall be given into his hand for a time and a half a time. But the court shall be seated, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and destroy it forever. Then the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdoms under the whole heaven shall be given to the people, the saints of the Most High. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. This is the end of the account. As for me, Daniel, my thoughts greatly troubled me, and my countenance changed, but I kept the matter to my heart. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.